Hey guys, we have already covered in this novel The Power, like introduction, what is the power of feelings, feeling frequencies. Now the next topic is the power and creation. In this topic, I'll tell you how to apply the creation process. So, you will learn how easy it is to harness the force of love for money, health, career, business, and relationships. With this knowledge, you will be able to change your life into whatever you want. To bring a specific desire to you, you have to follow the simple steps of the creation process. Whether it's bringing something you want or changing something you don't want, the process is always the same. The creation process. Imagine it, feel it, receive it. First is imagine. Use your mind to focus on and imagine what you desire. Imagine yourself being with your desire. Imagine yourself doing things with your desire. Imagine yourself having your desire. Second is feel. At the same time as you imagine, you must feel love for what you're imagining. You must imagine and feel being with your desire. You must imagine and feel doing things with your desire. You must imagine and feel having your desire. Your imagination connects you to what you want. Your desire and feelings of love create the magnetism, the magnetic power, drawing your desire to you. These completes your part in the creation process. Third is receive. The force of love will work through the visible and invisible forces of nature to bring what you desire to you. It will use circumstances, events, and people to give what you love to you. Whatever you desire, you must want it with all your heart. Desire is love, and unless you have a burning desire in your heart, you will not have enough power to harness the force of love. You must really desire what you want. As an athlete desires to play a sport, a dancer desires to dance, and a painter desires to paint. You must desire what you want with all your heart because desire is a feeling of love, and you must give love to receive what you love. Whatever you want to be in your life, whatever you want to do in your life, whatever you want to have in your life, the creation process is the same. Give love to receive love, imagine it, feel it, receive it. When using the creation process, imagine and feel that you have what you want already and never deviate from that state of being. Why? Because the law of attraction copies whatever you give, and so you must imagine and feel having it now. If you want to lose weight, then give love by imagining and feeling yourself with the body you love, instead of imagining and feeling that you are overweight every single day. If you want to travel, then give love by imagining and feeling yourself traveling, instead of imagining every day that you don't have the money to travel. If you want to improve yourself in a sport, acting, singing, playing a musical instrument, hobby, or in your job, then give love for what you want to be by imagining and feeling whatever it is you would love to be. If you want a better marriage or a better relationship with anybody, then give love by imagining and feeling what it would be like to have that relationship. When you begin working with the creation process, you might want to start by attracting something unusual. When you specifically attract something unusual, you will be left in no doubt about your power when you receive it. One young woman began by choosing to attract a specific flower, a white lilac lily. She imagined holding the flower in her hand, smelling the flower, and she felt having that lily. 2 weeks later, she went to a friend's house for dinner, and there in the centerpiece of the table was a bouquet of white lilies, the very flower and color she had imagined. She was excited to see the lilies, but she didn't say anything to her friend about her imagined flower. As she was walking out the door at the end of the evening, her friend's daughter spontaneously plucked one white lily from the vase and put it in her hand. Give it, receive it. Remember that the law of attraction says whatever you give, you receive. If you think of the law of attraction as a mirror, an echo, a boomerang, a copying machine. It will help make you clear on what to imagine and feel. The law of attraction is like a mirror because a mirror reflects back exactly what is in front of it. The law of attraction is like an echo because whatever you give out is exactly the echo that comes back. The law of attraction is like a boomerang because whatever boomerang you throw is the exact same boomerang that comes back to you. The law of attraction is like a copying machine because whatever you give is reproduced exactly and you will receive back an exact copy. When you imagine anything positive that you want and love, you are harnessing the force of love. When you imagine something positive, something good, and you feel love for it, that is what you are giving, and that is what you will receive. If you can imagine it and feel it, then you can receive it. But what you are imagining must come from love. But I want to tell you something fantastic about the force of love and your imagination. The highest and best thing you think is possible is nothing compared to what the force of love can give to you. Love has no limits. If you want to be full of happiness with an incredible zest for life, the force of love can give you health and happiness at levels far beyond what you have seen. I am telling you this so that you can start to break the boundaries of your imagination and stop putting limits on your life. Push your imagination to the limits and imagine the best and highest that you possibly can of whatever it is that you want. The difference between someone who is struggling and someone who has a fabulous life comes down to one thing: love. Those who have a great life imagine what they have and want, and they feel the love of what they are imagining more than other people. People who are struggling are unintentionally using their imagination for what they don't love and don't want, and are feeling the negativity of what they are imagining. It's such a simple thing, but it creates vast difference in people's lives, and you can see the difference everywhere you look. Your entire life is what you have imagined it to be. Everything you have or don't have, every situation and circumstances of your life is what you have imagined it to be. The problem is that many people imagine the worst. They are turning the most wonderful tool against themselves. Instead of imagining the best, many people are in fear and imagine all the things that can go wrong. And as surely as they keep imagining and feeling those things, they happen. Whatever you give, you receive. Feel and imagine the best and the highest you can in every area of your life, because the best you can imagine is a piece of cake for the force of love. No matter what challenging situation you may find yourself in, imagine the best outcome and feel it. When you do, you will change the circumstances and you will change the situation into what you want. Whatever desire you can imagine already exists. It doesn't matter what it is. If you can imagine it already, it exists in creation. Use your imagination and create games so that you feel really good. Whatever you can imagine is waiting for you, fully created in the invisible. And the way to make it visible is to harness the force of love by imagining and feeling what you love. After graduating from college, a young woman struggled for months and months trying to get a job. Her biggest obstacle was imagining having a job when she didn't have one. She wrote in her journal every day that she was grateful for the job that was coming to her, but still no job. Then she had a sudden realization. Her desperate actions of applying for one job after another were saying loud and clear to the law of attraction that she didn't have a job. So here is what the young woman did that changed everything. She decided to use her imagination and live as though she were already employed. She set her alarm early as she were going to work. Instead of writing in her journal that she was grateful for the job that was coming, she wrote how grateful she was for her success in her job and for the people she worked with. She planned the clothes she would wear to work each day. She set up savings account for her paychecks. Within 2 weeks, she felt as though she really had a job. Then out of the blue, a friend told her about a position that had become available. She went for an interview, got the job, and received everything she had written about in her journal. When using the creation process, use all the props you can to generate the feeling that you have what you want already. Surround yourself with items of clothing, pictures, photographs, and relevant objects so you can imagine and feel the feelings of having what you want. If you want a new clothes, make sure you have space in your wardrobe with empty clothes, hangers ready for your new clothes. If you want to bring more money into your life, does your wallet have space for money? Or is it full of irrelevant bits of paper? If you want the perfect partner, you must imagine and feel that the person is with you now. Are you sleeping in the middle of your bed? Or are you sleeping on the one side because your partner is on the other side of your bed? If your partner were with you now, you would be using only half the space in your ward with you now. If your partners were with you now, you would be using only half the space in your wardrobe because your partner's clothes will be in the other half of the wardrobe. Do you set your table for 2 people or 1 person? Just putting out an extra place is something you can easily do. Do your best not to contradict your desire in your day-to-day actions, and instead use the world of props that surround you to feel as though you already have what you want. These are simple little things you can do with your props and your imagination, but they are incredibly powerful. Your senses are props too, to help you feel that you have what you want. Feel the touch of what you want with your skin. Taste it, smell it, see it, and hear it. One man worked with all his senses to bring himself multiple job offers. He had applied for 75 positions over 3 years and had not received a single job offer. But then he used his imagination and all his senses to imagine he had his dream job. He imagined every detail in his new office. He touched the keys of his computer in his imagination. He smelled the lemon scent of the furniture polish on his new huge desk. He imagined his work colleagues. He gave them names. He had conversations with them. He had meetings with them. He even tasted the lunch break and tacos. 7 weeks later, he began receiving requests for interviews, then requests for second interviews poured in. Then he received not only 1 fantastic job offer but 2. He accepted the job he loved the most. It was his dream job. Know that when you have completed your part in the creation process, creation is done. You are no longer in the old world where you didn't have what you wanted. You have moved into a new world that contains the very thing you want, even if you can't see it yet. Know that you will receive it.